Hey, can I just say one thing before we get started?
Uh-huh.
Daylight savings time is the work of Satan.
Okay, let me just say this. I'm never affected by daylight savings time except for this year. And I think it's because Saturday night, it's a fucking pandemic. There's nothing to do. I kind of fell asleep and I woke up at around 1:30 in the morning. So I was up when the clock changed to 3, couldn't fall back to sleep until like 6:30. Then I got up at like 9, and I've been off ever since. Like my sleep pattern last night, fell asleep, woke up in the middle of the night, was up for hours. It's just weird. It's been a little off, and I'm never affected by it. But this year,
I'm affected
I'm
for like
off.
a minute. I also feel like waking up at the crack of dawn and it's dark out is really depressing.
Yeah, but that's going to change soon because in July at 5 o'clock in the morning, it's full on sunny and it's full on. So I'm waiting for those days because it's true. I was up at 6 a.m. this morning and it was dark still.
Dark. Anyway. All right.
Anyway,
good night.
So
bye, everybody. Yeah.
Welcome back. You know what it is. I'm going to let you finish. Wah, wah, wah. Coordinate me. Wah, wah, wah. So before we go into Grammys and everything, we have to start with our update of Gov Suge Knight. What has he done? Well, this week he's saying, I'm telling you, I'm not going. And he means it, which I kind of, in a way, like. I'm like, listen.
He's not going anywhere.
I think accusations are horrible things, but until proven, they are accusations. And I think we need to stop being a society that just wants the accusation to be enough for everybody to lose their job and everything. No, there needs to be an investigation because they're just believing, like, I just think there should be an investigation. And I'm glad there is one happening.
There is one.
And all of the Democrats calling for him to resign, he's not going to resign. And so just let's wait and see what the outcome of this investigation is.
I mean,
get ready for whoever's going to run against him next year because running again, I think, is going to be tough.
No, he's not going to run again. He's not going to run again. I don't think he's going to run again. But that said, these are all very credible accusations. I don't want to get into the details of it because there's been a lot of, but I think he lost confidence after the nursing home stuff. And I think that's it. I used to listen to him. As you know, I can't stand him, but but he does have good politics on some things. I used to listen to him during those daily briefings, and we were reassured, yada, yada, yada. Now, I don't believe a word coming out of his mouth, and that's problematic.
That's where the problem comes, because he has lost a lot of confidence.
Yeah,
I liked him as a governor. There's certain things I didn't like, and I will say this. This is when it really turned for me, when he started promoting a book, and I was like, wait, there's a book? Yeah. And he was like, oh, yes, he got... I don't care how much money you make for something. It's a capitalistic society. Make as much as you can, doing whatever you can. But the fact that we were in the middle of a pandemic and he already wrote a book, published it, went on his promo tour about his response to a pandemic that's not over, and then there's all of these numbers that are not right, and it's like, dude, what?
Yeah, he just lost it. That's the thing. We can't. He's telling us to do things. It's COVID.
Right. And then meanwhile, he's writing a book talking about his response to the shit that's not over. And I'm thinking about how it was trying to get a vaccine appointment, and I'm like, but you've already had a book. This shit's still not over. It's still not over.
Not over. Not even close.
Right.
Anyway, not even close. Not even close. All right.
That's for you, Belgrave. We have to do our
David Belgrave. David Belgrave, super fan, David Belgrave, and hater of all things Cuomo.
Which now I'm starting to fall on that side.
I think we should call this "And Now for the David Belgrave" section.
Right.
This section on Andrew Cuomo is brought to you by David Belgrave.
I mean, I can't believe I'm so pissed off at him. I'm looking at him like, dude, you're just as bad as all the rest of us.
You should have. You get on board, baby. I've been on team hate him since.
And can we just say, listen, I've never paid attention to AOC, the noise, all of that shit. To me, I'm like, great, but she represents part of Queens and the Bronx. I don't live in either borough, so I don't really pay attention. But why was she the first one that I saw that actually made a video to kind of explain to people what's actually in this bill? I'm like, and I appreciated her for that. I'm like, well, thank you for actually saying some of the things that are in this bill. Because everybody's just like, the bill, $1,400. I'm like, well, what's in the rest of it?
He's referring to the COVID bill.
The COVID bill. Yeah,
all right, let's stop talking about something we know nothing about and talk about something we know everything about.
No, but wait, hold on, because I wanted to also give a shout out to her. I liked her haircut, and she had really good. She had really good eyebrows. Really good.
I mean, it's a shallow thing to say, but I will say that our politicians are 100 times better looking than their politicians.
I mean, it's important. Sometimes
no, she's
just
gorgeous.
like,
she's gorgeous.
She really, and I kind of was like, oh.
No, she's gorgeous.
This is the first time I'm actually really paying attention to her because there's so much noise around her, but I'm like, I think I do like you.
No, she's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Totally shallow, but she's a hottie patati. There.
Yeah, we like
All right.
Okay, so let's talk about things we do know about. The Grammy Awards that I feel like no one cared about, but then they were better than they should have been, and I'm really actually glad that some of these big artists who were like, I'm not coming, didn't come, because there's a lot of new artists and a lot of artists who actually the spotlight is really beneficial for, and it was, good seeing some of them get that shine and have that national spotlight without it being the Weeknd, Drake, all of the huge names that you're used to seeing, and they're like, we're boycotting, and it was kind of like we didn't even miss you. And since you guys all like to boycott so much, why don't y'all actually show up to some of the Black Award shows that you don't show up to either? But that's a whole other story.
They're not nominated in. Well, Drake doesn't do awards.
They have been nominated in those. They just don't come.
They just don't want to go. I mean, listen, let's be honest. Jay-Z hasn't come to a Grammys in years either. He was there for the misses, okay? He hasn't come to
Well, he didn't come after he was there for, 444, and he was leading with 8 nominations and left with 0 Grammys.
Yeah. I mean, I thought the performance, look, they had to reconfigure everything because of the pandemic, obviously. They did a beautiful job of production. They kind of modeled it after the Jules Holland show, which is a fantastic music show. I have learned about more new music from Jules Holland.
I love it. And he does a great mix. He'll have
everything.
Really new artists. He'll have a classic band that you love. He'll have one of the electronica jazz acts. And they're all playing like in a giant circle, and it's a lot of musicians being in the room getting that energy from each other. Yeah. I mean, you could see watching the Grammys this year that you got that. There's nothing better than watching a musician vibing off another musician. There's also nothing. You could tell these guys are dying to get out there to play. Oh my God!
I mean, this is like
so good
they're just dying to get out there to play. I thought they did a really good job. I thought. It didn't feel like a Zoom call like all these other. The producer behind it, which I did not know until I read about it, is the guy behind James Corden's Carpool Karaoke.
Yeah, this was his first year because Ken Ehrlich retired from doing the Grammys last year after.
Yeah, I mean that was just like Grammy moment. Let's take 7 completely unrelated people and throw them up there to do it.
That's why this worked, right? Because all of those corny things that they try to do, or it's like the people coming out and the really bad jokes and the bad writing, there was none of that. There was none of the filler fluff or putting, like you said, all these people together to do some medley that none of us are going to give a shit about. And it kind of moved along, and you just heard a lot of good music.
The performances were great, but of course, because people need to clutch pearls and social media is not being used for the purposes it was set up for, which are cute cat videos and pictures of, cute cat videos is the most important thing for social media, and catching up with that idiot you went to high school with.
Right.
Oh my God, it was so raunchy. See, the problem with the Grammys is that it divides into 2 camps. There are people like me and you who are music fans who've been in the business, who kind of appreciate everything, but we're not musicians, capital M musician, music theory, Berkeley School of Music, which is fine. And then there are the purists who are like, this is not music. Why isn't the category progressive jazz Latin fusion on the Grammys? Because nobody gives a fuck. That's why. It's an entertainment show. It's an entertainment show.
But I'm going to tell you, I did this year like I do every year. I watch all of those. I log on to the pre-show at 3 o'clock, and I watch the whole thing. I watch everybody get their awards. I
Yeah,
like to see
yeah.
who won. It was great to see Fantastic Negrito win.
Oh, I
like,
love
to
him.
see
He's
people
great.
like that win. I
No,
was
he's
like,
great.
this is what it's about. I watched CK Trinata win too. You know, that was great to me. I love that.
No, but
I saw when Burna Boy won live. All of that was
yeah.
just great. You
No,
know?
that's fun. And the thing is, it is accessible too if you want to watch it. So they're acting
Yeah.
like they're blackballed, but everybody is clutching pearls over Megan and Cardi doing WAP. And what's so funny, first off, it's good to know as a woman and a feminist that there's so many men out there concerned about the sexualization of women. And the other thing that's funny is it's mainly men bitching and moaning about this. It's like, don't tell a woman what's sexist.
Well, the thing is, men get mad when it's women using their sexuality versus them being sexualized, right? It's almost like this uncomfortable space, like, how dare you be doing that? My problem wasn't that it was sexual. My problem was I didn't think the choreography suited them that well, and it looked like a high school talent show. That was my problem with it. I mean, the sexual shit is like, we've seen sexuality in performances for a million years. I just didn't like the choreography when I saw Cardi doing her choreography. I was like, this doesn't.
Well, they are wearing 14 fucking inch heels. I will say the other reason I think
but
that
that wasn't the problem.
Yeah, I do think that the other thing, and it's a whole nother conversation about why people are. I mean, a lot of people, mainly white men, who are complaining about this. Cardi and Megan are not their ideal of beauty.
Right.
You know, if someone they thought was hot came out there, they wouldn't have complained. You know, but I also think it's funny that people are complaining. Oh, poor Dua Lipa, she had to wear. Which is more clothes than you wear in a gymnastics competition, by the way.
Right.
But, no one's putting a gun to Dua Lipa's head. She's a megastar. She was great. She was giving you total share. Bob Mackie loved it. And she's probably the best non-dancing.
Versace, which was right. Here's the thing about Dua Lipa, and Dua Lipa fans know this, so we're just like, dancing is the thing that she does not do great. For the first album, her performances were really panned by fans because she couldn't dance, and she's trying, and you can see the improvement. That is the thing that some people have naturally, and other people get better the more they get to perform. I think had her tour not been canceled, and for this album, if she was out there every night performing, that will get better. What I love about it is you see where she's a young artist. There's so much room to grow, and her performances will get better the longer that she does it. Not everybody steps on the stage and immediately has the sparkle magic of being able to dance and give you that full thing. But the more you do it, the better you get at it. And I saw the improvement in her, and I thought she was great. And those songs are great.
Oh my God! Those songs
work so good, right? It's
so good. It's so catchy, and also it works on and off the dance floor.
Yeah.
That's what she is, a woman who makes music you can dance to. Yeah, and that's what's great about her. I loved watching my Bad Bunny, who I adore. Vibing off of that. That was great. I thought Haim were fantastic.
They're always good. Yeah,
so good, even with the crazy faces they make. I don't get the crazy faces, but they were great. I love Harry Styles, but I thought he killed. I thought he fucking killed, and he had Dev Hynes up there on bass, which is really cool.
Yeah, I really like Dev.
Yeah, no, everybody put on the country music, Miranda Lambert and Maren Morris and Nikki Guyton, who's the first black female country artist. I thought that was great. I thought the rap, I thought Da Baby and Little Baby, really powerful performances. I didn't quite get the dancing white people in judicial robes. I wasn't sure if it was a tribute to Ruth Bader Ginsburg or all the adjunct professors who were forced to teach on Zoom. Not quite sure what was going on. But I always enjoy a rap production number where they have someone pretending to play the violin. It's like, oh, look.
Why is that always a thing? There is some, now that you said that, there is always like somebody slow playing a violin.
Well, don't you remember the hip hop violinist Miriam?
Yeah. Oh,
remember
I
her?
forgot about her. Yeah. She was on Def
She was
Jam,
great.
right?
Yeah, she was great. Actually, she was a really nice girl. I interviewed her, but I think it's because when people are like,
Oh my
"What's
God,
in?"
you just brought me all. I
Remember
forgot.
her? She was
That
great.
was like a thing for a minute.
That was
She
a
was
thing.
like, yeah.
She
She was
was
like a
the
thing
girl.
for
She was
a minute.
She was this hot Israeli girl. She was working with everybody. But I think a violin, it's like one of those things, like people think an English accent means you're really smart. A term opera, you're really smart. And if you have a violin, like, oh, I'm like this young black kid making hip hop. Ooh, a violin.
You know what it is? Because I guess it's not like a lot of kids want the guitar, the bass, the drums. You're like the kid that picks up the violin. It's like Lizzo with her flute, right? It's not an instrument you really think of when people say I'm going to learn to play an instrument.
Right. But anyway, I thought the performances were all really good. I thought Billie Eilish was great. Yeah. I really could Taylor Swift in her moss house with the Renaissance Fair outfits.
I loved it.
It sounded great. I will say, you want to talk about awkward. That woman has been making music and videos since she was 14, 15 years old, and she still looks like she can't believe she's on screen all the time.
I love it. I love her. I love that. I love the whole, what is it, moss on top of the log house.
The mossy house.
Listen, I love a musician with the moment when it's like, give me my guitar, let me play. Okay, now I'm in my ethereal couture gown in the moss.
I just don't like, I just don't think, here's the thing with Taylor Swift. I think fundamentally she is not a very good singer. I can't
even tell you what she's saying. I just was into the
she's a very good songwriter. But the singing is like, and I don't find her appealing as a human being, but I think, we've talked about that this album was really good. I really don't.
You know what I do like about her? That she fights for artist shit. She will get fight for shit. She realized her power and she uses it, and that I like. And she uses it not just to benefit her. She uses it to change things to benefit artists in general.
Yeah,
and, and I like that. And I liked her whole vibe. Can't even tell you what she's saying, but I was into it.
Oh, I actually do know, because it's one of the few songs of hers I can sing along to. But her whole Renaissance Fair thing gives me a fucking headache. But that's all right. I am not a wood nymph kind of girl, I
don't know why I like this so much.
I don't like a wood nymph. Courtney, let me tell you something. If you're ever going to throw a theme party for me, no wood nymphs.
Right. I just like that she looked expensive, like she had a budget. I love all of that. I want to see the money on the stage. I want to see it.
I did. The one thing I love Megan Thee Stallion having her moment. She is a real kind of rags to riches, put the work in kind of girl. She has fantastic politics, which I admire. So does Cardi B. These are two women who are on the low activists, and I give them that. I will say
and I love that she's big on education, and she graduates this fall.
Everything,
I love that. I love it.
She is not a hood rat, man. She is a very, very accomplished, intelligent. I just love the whole feeling. I will say that.
Nothing wrong with our hood rats. We love a hood rat, but I think that she just shows it's against type of people thinking, all right, so now you've made it, you don't have to finish school. And she was like, no, I'm finishing school. And I love that. And I think that's a message to people.
She appears to be very nice, too.
Yeah. And I loved her surprise because she did not know Beyonce was there, who looked fabulous.
You thought Beyonce looked fabulous?
I thought she looked...
I know you're contractually obligated to say
I thought she looked
She looked good. She always looked good. She always looks good.
But we haven't really seen her in a long time, and it was great to see her. And I love big hair, and when she does her big hair right, it's just my moment. I love the whole Schiaparelli outfit, the gloves, the earrings, and I love that people did not think she would be there, but she was there for her history-making night. And knowing her, those kind of things are important to her. So I'm glad she was there for that. And I was glad to see her share the stage with Megan and Megan be so shocked and surprised that she was there. And then when they were going to walk up stage, when Trevor just said that, you just tied.
I thought that was, that was like a little, kind of like, and now here's a word for our sponsor. I mean, we've had this conversation. Beyonce deserves a lot of awards, but not this year. Those were not great songs. They weren't. They're making up.
Savage was a great song.
No,
Savage
not
was a
Savage,
great
not
song.
Savage.
And Black Parade is like, listen, that's, it's a matter of taste, right? It's not a terrible song. I don't really know the song that much. I remember when it came out. I don't really know the song that much, but hey, she won.
Yeah,
And
I
I'm
just
happy
feel like,
for her because I know how hard she works, and I know that that song really meant something to her, and it had a statement for her. And I'm glad that it was received in that way, and I'm glad that she broke a record with a song that really means something to her personally.
I feel like, and then I want to talk about Billie Eilish a little bit. I feel like that the Grammys are really, really mea culpaing over the fact that they did not give her the Grammy for the album she deserved to get the album of the year for. And I think that they have been paying penance ever since then, which is Lemonade. She deserved the album of the year for that. They fucked that up. And on that note, Adele, I think, was the first time, or maybe it was Macklemore. Okay, let's put it this way. Billie Eilish, I love Billie Eilish. I love Billie Eilish. I think she is a very talented young woman.
She is.
She is like, there is no bullshit with her. She seems, again, like they work hard, her and her brother. She deserved that Grammy as much as Megan did. And when you get up there and like, oh no, you're so much better than you, girl,
I hate when people do that.
No, take the fucking award.
You earned the award.
You earned the award.
This was not a mercy award. Your song was great. Like, you didn't need to do that. Megan won 3 awards. You know who else? I hate when actors do it too. You remember when Ving Rhames won the Golden Globe, but he was like, this should go to Jack Lemmon, and calls Jack Lemmon on stage. You take it, and I hate that.
No,
it's like first of all, I feel like you put the other person who knows they did not win. I know you think you're giving them tribute, but you're putting them in such a fucked up spot. Like, how do you react? You know you didn't win. This person's handing you their award, which you know they're going to really want back, because that's just how they're caught up in the moment. And you're like sitting there, and it's like putting you in. You got to smile. They put the camera on you, and you're just like, "What the fuck?"
I will say one thing, and that's a good segue into the Oscars. I think there is a difference between a relatively new actor like Ving Rhames acknowledging Jack Lemmon, who was at that point, I believe, sick, and the legend, as opposed to contemporaries. Megan Thee Stallion and Billie Eilish are, for all intents and purposes, peers. They're contemporaries. They've had pretty much similar success in their respective lanes. They're kind of the same. I mean, I think Megan's a little bit older than Billie.
But the sentiment is still the same thing.
It's the racial dynamic.
You won.
Yeah,
it may suck. You think this stuff. Like, remember who was it when Rachel Weisz won the Oscar for was it The Accidental Tourist? And I forgot who everybody thought was going to win. And she got there. I thought da was going to win. And like, I always feel like you put that person in such a fucked up spot, because they may have thought they were going to win too, and then they didn't.
Yeah. Well, anyway, all in all, to recap, and then we can move on. I thought it was a very good show. I think
much
they did a good job.
Much better than I thought it would be.
Much better, and even though it took a catastrophe and tragedy to bring it to that, I think that the Grammys would be well advised to stick to this format.
I think they learned something from not having the fluff and the dumb shit that people didn't like, and just actually just getting to good music and give out the awards, and that's it.
Great. Yeah, it was great. All right, so speaking of, so the Oscars were announced. When did it become the Oscars and not the Academy Awards? Wasn't it the Academy Awards when we were kids, and then it became the Oscars? Okay, just want to make sure I'm not living in another planet. But anyway, so they were announced. Obviously, 99.9% of movies were released on.
Anything.
I have seen a few of them. All right, so run through the list of Best Picture, and I'll tell you what I've seen, and I will critique it for you.
Wait, I'm going to have to look it up, because I have no idea, because I know the winner.
Judas and the Black Messiah. I saw that. It's good. It's on HBO. It's good. Well, first off, I have like a not so secret crush on Lakeith Stanfield, even though
I like him.
He seems like he's 14 kinds of crazy, but that's okay. It's a problem. Let's put it this way.
I have a friend who worked with him and said he's not. He's a really nice guy, actually.
Oh, no, you can be crazy and nice. I just think he's crazy. Everything I've seen him in, he's been great. I will say that it's, based on a true story. It is problematic. I don't want to give the story away. There are a lot of problems with the story in that. But, and one of the main problems is that they are both, him and Daniel, I can't pronounce his last name, Kaluuya?
Kaluuya.
Who's an also great actor who plays Fred Hampton, One of the main problems is that you have men in their 30s playing basically 20-year-olds. So that's a problem because they do not look like young people. Because one of the, the striking things, obviously, about Fred Hampton's death was how young he was when he was assassinated. Okay, it's a good movie. It's not a great movie. I'm sitting at home. All right, what else? Sound of Metal. I did see Sound of Metal. Okay, I told you the story. Okay, so I watched great performances in Sound of Metal. Great Riz Ahmed, who I could also look at all day without any issues. But here's the problem with, so I told you this, right? I watched Sound of Metal. It's about, not giving anything away, it's about a drummer who goes deaf, right? So, and I always watch things with closed captions because people mumble in movies. So I'm watching the movie, and he starts going deaf, and he goes deaf very quickly, I might add, too. And he starts going deaf, and I have tinnitus, like a lot of people, and I start going, oh, shit. And I start panicking. I'm like, this is what my life is going to be like. I'm going to go deaf. And I turned it off. And then I couldn't take it. It was freaking me out. I was like, oh, my God, I see my future.
You completely projected yourself onto the screen.
No, I was having a full-out panic attack. Like, full-out, the plane is crashing panic attack. Okay. Finally, I watch a movie. It's really good. Okay, cut to last week, and I go get my hearing checked because I do that periodically. And I turn to the person. I go, have you seen Sound of Metal? And she goes, no, but you're like the 15th person who asked me. And she said, I will say this, you don't go deaf overnight. I went, all right. That's good to hear.
You know how many people have probably run who having ear issues, run to the ear doctor to be like, I saw Sound of Metal. Am I going to wake up tomorrow and not be able to hear shit?
Right. Like overnight. Like they literally pull. All right, so those two movies. What else is nominated? I haven't. I know I'm supposed to care about it, but I don't. Continue.
Promising Young Woman, which I heard is really good.
I heard it's really good. It's probably streaming somewhere. I haven't watched it. Okay, Two Women got nominated this year, which is major. What else? No Man Land. Haven't seen it. Heard it's good. It's on Hulu.
Father.
I've never heard of that movie.
Right.
Who's in it? No Man Land's supposed to be really
Coleman is in it. I know that.
Oh, I love her. Okay, I'll have to find it. It's on stream. No Man Land is on Hulu, so I'm worried I might have to watch it with commercials, which seems dumb. All right, what else? Anything else?
Oh, the Trial of the Chicago 7.
We had this conversation. I'm not a huge Adam Sorkin fan. I heard it's good. It's literally sitting there on Amazon. All I have to do is go click and.
No, all these I have all of these streaming services, and I've not watched anything.
Yeah. I think you'd watch Judas and the Black Messiah. It may be off HBO now, but you can find it somewhere. And
yeah, but Yeah.
We don't want to get the FBI at our house, but you can.
But I didn't realize that Andra Day got nominated for Best Actress.
She did?
Yeah, she did.
Does that mean we don't have? Does that mean we don't have to listen to her sing that god awful song?
They'll find a way. They'll be like, because of the last year, the In Memoriam tribute will be sung by Oscar nominee Andra Day.
I don't get her. I mean,
I'm very happy for her. I'm happy for her to have this moment. I'm happy for any moment that makes her not sing Rise Up.
Oh, really. That should be the criteria. Andra, we will give you this award. You are the Jennifer Hudson. You are the Jennifer Hudson of 2020. But please do not, you must sign it on. Sign it here. You may never sing Rise Up again.
And I rise up.
Don't take the award away from you.
I rise up.
I hate that song. You know I hate it. You know I hate it. I hate it.
That song makes me want to climb up a wall and just drop myself to the floor head first.
Oh. I don't know if you know this about me, but there is nothing I hate more than an inspirational feel-good anthem.
No, you mean like every time Sarah McLachlan's voice comes over my TV now, and I used to like her, but now it's like shivering poor dogs with one eye in a cage outside and freezing snow.
Yeah, but that's different.
Yeah, but that's turned her into that lady to me.
I know.
Her songs now, like now when I see her, I think of animals dying in a cage. It's
Yeah,
like,
that's not
remember when Fat Sally Struthers used to be telling people send money for food for the people, and then everybody started making fun of her weight being like, but she's eating the food, which is
that's
really fucked up. But it's like
Mm.
you start to think of not Sally Struthers as the actress, but as that lady. That's how I think of Sarah McLachlan now. It's like every time her songs come on, I'm like, it's like Rise Up. Like Rise Up has been a theme to the White House, cancer, any disaster that has come on CNN.
Horrible. Any disaster. It's a disaster song. It's a song.
It's the fucking disaster song.
I don't want seeing people singing during a fucking disaster. Okay, who else is nominated?
You know, kind of like when everybody dies and when everybody do a tribute, nobody ever sings any of their 500 up songs. They all come and want to sing a ballad. It's like, but this person had 2 ballads in their whole career.
All right, what else is nominated? Actors.
Okay, so the best actress. Hold on, I'm gonna go. Move thing. Why is it? Let me just tell you something about all this shit that just pops up. I have all these non-pop-up features on my computer. It doesn't stop it. Shit just pops the fuck up. I'm like, what is this? Okay, let's see. Best leading actor in a role: Riz for Sound of Metal,
Dreamy.
Chadwick for Ma Rainey.
He'll probably
for the father. Yeah, you know. They like
but
him
he
when
deserves it. It's not like they're giving it to him. It's not a pity award. He deserved it, you know?
Anthony Hopkins in The Father, Gary Oldman in Mank, and Stephen Yeun in Minari.
I've heard they're all good.
Yeah.
I mean, all great actors. I think Stephen Yeun is a kid.
Yeah.
He's a little kid.
He's that young one, the kid who cried at the Golden Globes. He's a little kid.
He's a little kid.
The actresses are Viola Davis and Ma Rainey, Andra Day, and 2 black women. That's great. United States. Vanessa Kirby, Pieces of a Woman. Okay. Frances McDormand for No Man Land. And Carey Mulligan for Promising Young Woman.
I like Carey Mulligan, even though she has a really unfortunate taste in husband.
Who's her husband?
A Mumford. She's married to a Mumford.
Being married to a Mumford.
She's married because they suck.
I like them.
She's married to a Mumford. But
I mean, I grew up on country music, so I love country.
That's not country music. That's a bunch of rock musicians thinking that if you play in a
wait, the Mumford, they're not, I'm thinking of the Brothers Osborne. The
Mumford and Sons.
What's wrong with that?
Come on, they're whack. Whack.
Everything is whack these days. Honey, if we're going by what's whack, there'll be 2 songs that we like.
No. But folk music is not banging away loudly at your guitar. But that said, she's a very good actress. So, all right. Anything?
The director is Thomas Vinterberg for Another Round. What's Another Round?
I have no idea.
David Fincher for Mank.
Okay.
Lee Sung and Minari. Chloe Zhao for Nomadland. And Emerald Fennell for Promising Young Woman.
You know who Emerald Fennell is? She played Camilla in The Crown. She's one of those women who had and she's also in my weird obsession called The Midwife. She's one of those women who had goes back and forth between being an actress and a director and a writer. So she's multifaceted. Right. And there's 2 Asians nominated, which is history making, and an Asian woman, which is history making. So, yay for them.
No Regina King for One Night in Miami. Boo, but
no, I read a reason.
But I'm happy for these nominations.
No, I am
too. There's some, groundbreaking nominees here. So we have to stop and celebrate. Like what I'm saying about the Grammys ahead of time is everybody's talking about who's not going to be there, and it's like there are a lot of queer and women and artists of color who are getting nominated and really getting the shine. We need to celebrate them and not be talking about who's saying they're not coming.
Listen, well, no one's saying they're not coming for the Oscars.
Well, no. Well, the Oscars, I believe they're going to be some kind of weird virtual thing. I don't know if they're going to do them as, Well, you see how they did the Grammys. It was part virtual and some people were there, you know?
Yeah, but what are they going to do? Have a few actors acting? It's different.
But you can have maybe less of the other people and have the actors spaced out in the theater. So if they win, they can actually come up on the stage. There is a way to do that,
Let me say something. actors are way more competitive and neurotic than musicians.
Mistake. No, because it's gonna be like who's sitting where. That would be a full
a full thing, as you would say, a full experience.
I discovered something.
Oh, what?
I know everybody's gonna say I'm late, and I know I'm late. I had no idea that clip that I'm obsessed with on TikTok, where she goes, "Try being my size, Amy. You don't know how it is." It says, "This stuff you can do. Stop being a baby." I ain't no baby, bitch. My bills are paid. It's from a show called 1,000-Pound Sisters. Did you know this on TLC that there's a show called 1,000-Pound Sisters?
I don't watch the shows where people are freakishly unattractive.
And it's on a season 2 that's been so successful, and this clip has been watched 65 million times, and it's got the...
No,
I did not know that was a show. And now I'm obsessed.
I don't watch the show about the people with feet problems. I don't watch the pimple popping shows, though I do enjoy a pimple popping video now and then. I can't
watch it like that. But I'm kind of obsessed with Amy and Tammy, and one of them is married, lost a bunch of weight, had her baby last season. But wait, I had no idea until, I want you guys to know, I don't know what planet I was on, but Amy just explained to me.
Wait a minute, me, Amy?
Actually, you, Amy, the premise of what 90 Day Fiancé actually
we went over that.
And that there's a fiancé visa. I had no idea. I don't know, I just thought, this was your fiance, and it was 90 days until your wedding. I had no idea there was a visa thing. And
we talked about that last week. I'm here.
I still cannot believe
Courtney,
that's what's happening.
Courtney, I am an educator. I am here to educate you. I didn't go to grad school because I had nothing better to do with $25,000 at my time.
Because I don't watch any of those channels, I had no idea of all these. Like, I did not know that Dr. Pimple Popper was an actual show. I had no idea that was a situation.
Well, don't watch that one. Just stick with the romance one. and it's okay. Don't worry about it. And next, we're going to get you on Cheaters because Candace.
Oh, no, mistake. I'm a years-long cheater, bitch. Let me just tell you something. I have favorite episodes. My one, when the guy pulls out the gun, they all go, gun, and they all go running and diving into the
do a whole episode. I don't even want to go into Cheaters now.
Black lesbians fighting outside of Houston's in Texas. Just brilliant shit.
No, we have to go into it. Not this time. We'll go into it because they're starting a new whole thing with it, with fucking Uptown Baby, Peter.
Well, no, he's been the host for like the last 2 seasons, I believe.
But I haven't seen it. They only show the ones with Joey Greco, amazing.
And Rock Hudson's.
No, Clark Gable's grandson.
Who died recently.
Yes.
Yeah. That's why Peter got the gig. Yeah.
Rock Hudson couldn't have grandchildren because he's.
I get my white guys from the 50s mixed up.
Clark Gable was from the 30s and the 40s.
I don't even know. That was your generation. You know, I came along much later.
Gone with the Wind? Come on. Rock Hudson, not that gay people can't have, but Rock. I heard a rumor that Rock Hudson was gay. Keep it to yourself. All right, what else? What else we are? Yeah, no, we'll talk about. I want to do a full and homage to Cheaters and their bodice-ripping dialogue. Our participants are standing in the park like, wonder if true love were ever. Oh no, it's mind-blowing.
I love what he says. Everybody show the video. Now, this is him in your car.
I know. But the dialogue, they talk like the tone is like they're describing like the signing of the Magna Carta. It's like a Barbara Cartland. No.
You do know a bunch of them are fake though, right? Because I know people have been cast to go do.
All right, I can't. La. Shush. I'm still recovering from finding out that my big fat American Gypsy wedding is staged too.
Courtney, all staged.
Courtney, I don't have much to live for. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. I need, it's bad enough our elections are frauds and states. Come on. Courtney, I count on you. I don't mind a little negativity and snideness. Don't take this away from me.
Don't take my cheaters. Don't take my cheaters.
Don't do it. It's all I have in my sad little life. All right, what else are we? I ain't
got nothing else.
I got nothing. I was up at crack of dawn. I taught today. I was observed, so that's always fun.
Oh, were you observed today?
Yeah, I was observed today, but it's fine. I mean, it'll be fine. Believe it or not, Courtney, I am not a half-fat educator, and my snappy wit and charming personality translates even through a screen talking to blank faces, and it's horrifying. Is there anything else that is there anything that's going to be going on next year that we're gearing up for?
Can I just tell you, I do feel like this summer we're going to be able to dance again.
We can dance now, Courtney. It's just
no, but I think we're going to get. I think there are going to be permits for things in the park. I really have that energy, like we're going to be able to dance again.
Well, every time a woman comes forward to accuse Cuomo of something, a restriction is
we get something else, honey.
Else.
I just need one queen to take it for the team and be like, you put a finger in my ass. Where's that girl? Like, if you do that, I'm telling you, we'll get, like, the bars and the nightclubs, it'll be like, they're opening tomorrow at 50% capacity.
Hi, I'd like to put out an incentive. Any transgender prostitutes, please contact us, name your price, and we will have Celebrate Brooklyn open in a hot minute. That's all.
Because that's all that's missing from the list. I think everything is, that man has zero allies. There's not been one person to come out and be like, he wouldn't do that. Said no one. No one.
That's what he.
Democrat. There is no one from his office is even being like. Now that guy. And I love that Tish James is sitting back like, remember when you forced my hand? I bet you wish you didn't do it now.
Don't fuck with me here. For those of you outside of the tri-state area, here's a little motto: do not fuck with Tish James.
Tish James. Tish is not going. She's a woman. Listen, this is what we love about her.
Everything.
Integrity in politics. Who knew it existed?
I know. She's the best. She's the best.
A person who can't be bought in politics. Who knew?
I know. She's the best. She was my city councilwoman, as I said, for years, and she used to march on all the marches with us, and she brought cookies to the polling place during the first Obama election. So, anything else? You're getting...
Well, I'm going back to my obsession on, I'm having a Chicago house, a little bit of a moment, and right now I've really been focusing on the original works and the remixes of Steve Silk Hurley, and man, it's just like a full musical cornucopia over here.
I know. You're just like, you're about ready to just charge yourself admission to come into your own house.
Sometimes I catch myself in here because I have a disco ball, and
he does. He has a disco ball. He does.
I know my neighbors, when they look in this window, sometimes they're like, "What the fuck is going on over there?" Because I'm full on arms in the air doing plies.
You can have a club quarantine. It doesn't have to be.
Honey, that's how I've gotten through this motherfucker, baby. I've danced my way through it.
That's nice. I, on the other hand, lying on my fat ass watching television, but that's okay.
Yeah, but you've been catching up on all your international crime dramas and French TVs. You've been having a good time with it.
Courtney, let me tell you something. If and when we can ever travel overseas, I know what to expect when I get arrested. That's all I want to say. Let's end with a shout out. Even though they lost last night, and thank you for letting me know, but I was in the middle of a crime drama and I didn't know, and then it takes me an hour to find ESPN because Lucian doesn't live here anymore, and that was his go-to channel for everything. And even though I don't know why nothing is on MSG, I can never find it on MSG. But that said, our Knicks came close.
They did come close.
It's a good game. I didn't see a lot of it. They looked good. Yeah.
The thing is, if they shot better in that home stretch in the last part of the fourth quarter, they could have won that game. They had open shots that they kept missing.
I know.
Like, they need to get That
They
is the
look
thing.
good.
It's like you got to be able. They did, but you got to close that shit out. When you guys hit those open shots, you got to hit the shot.
And I will say, I was going to say, finish. I'm sorry.
I just, and I think that travel call was bullshit. That changed the last seconds of the game. That was bullshit. Because Kyrie Irving hit the ball when he was up in the air. So that was bullshit.
I will, and another thing I will say about the Knicks, and it's Bullock, the guy I was talking about with the Basquiat hair. Yeah. You look at the Knicks now, and I'm paying more attention, and you look at them, they go, these look like guys who have been playing ball for a minute and know their shit. There's a seriousness about them, which I like. Yeah. They talk about that other teams are actually talking about the Knicks are playing hard, and they appreciate them. And I cannot take the Nets with the constant changing jerseys. What is this new jersey they have? It looks like the Subway sign now. We get it. You live in New York. We get it. You're in New York. We get it. Why don't you come out with a slice of pizza on your head? But they look really good.
And for Andrew Yang, who's trying to be the mayor of this city, I'm sorry, if somebody asks you Knicks or Nets, you're not supposed to choose one and be like, yeah, the Nets, because, the Knicks have been bad too long. Sweetie, you're trying to be the mayor of New York. There's Knicks fans here, too. So how about you figure that out if you want my vote? And on that note, remember to follow us on Twitter at FinishShima. Follow us on Instagram at ImmaLetYouFinish.NY. Follow us on Facebook at ImmaLetYouFinish, all one word. Follow Listening Party Presents on IG. Just follow us. We're here. We're funny. We're here. We're queer. Get used to it.
I'm not queer. I am not queer. Bye.
It's NFL draft season, and that means it's time to start thinking about fantasy football. FantasyPoints.com features industry-leading experts and prognosticators using proprietary hand-charted data to help you score more fantasy points. FantasyPoints.com is the place to go for whatever kind of fantasy football you play. Whether you play fantasy football, daily fantasy sports, or do a little bit of everything, Fantasy Points has the meticulously researched content to guide you to victory. And why wait for the fall? Fantasy Points also covers the new spring football league, the UFL. Join the guru, John Hansen, Scott Barrett, Joe Dolan, and other massive names in the fantasy football universe with an exclusive offer. Use code Pantheon for 15% off any Fantasy Points package, including the all-in package, with access to every article, tool, and data nugget that Fantasy Points has to offer. That's FantasyPoints.com and code Pantheon for 15% off at Fantasy Points. FantasyPoints.com, code Pantheon. Score more fantasy points.